Yeah? So if you get your fingers going, and you get used to this for some reason, because Maz is really weird, he likes to go this way. But whatever works, whichever way you want to go is fine. It just needs to be natural. Okay? So basically, you can get your fingers doing this, and you can start to think about it. Okay? As our fingers are doing this pulse, 1, E, and 2, we can sing our pattern. Do, dong, do, dong, 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 dong. Yeah? And what we can do then is we can pause on any beat that we have in question. So far we have do, dong, do, dong, dong. I can pause on that beat and realize, oh, that's my index finger. So it's either the 1, 2, the 3, or the 4. It gets me a lot closer.
So inside of a clock, you have all these little gears that are turning, but they're all keeping time together. It's still 60 BPMs, right? So you can kind of think of these subdivisions, these 3 subdivisions that way. Even though you have more, you have triplets with 3 beats per pulse. And like 30 seconds, whatever. But let's think of these 3 as gears. This piece, we need to really focus on that 3rd gear. And it's just going and going, even when you're not playing. So when we have this rhythm that you guys are playing on, should I go? I played a lot of 16th notes. I was emphasizing that 3rd gear so much. Click, 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 click.
Okay, so we are back at home after completing our 2nd day of STI. In the morning, Kelvin gave us a lot of good tips on articulation, the different sounds that you get out of playing drums and listening for the resonance of each drum in the room.
He wanted us to be very aware of the duration of sound and pay attention to that, especially when having punctual and very on-time hits.
We worked on slapping the drum.
So with this, as much as possible, when you hit the slap, let's try to go up, okay, as opposed to kind of down, all right? And I know it's natural to do that since this one especially is so tall and so that one. So when we go, okay, let's just try to kind of have our muscle like that and go up, okay? Okay, and then as soon as you hit it, try to open your hands if you can and control it here, okay? And like Calvin was saying in timing, is try to kind of hear that kind of like buzzing sound, and then it kind of gradually decays, right? Decays, that was what we would say. So try to hear that too, okay? So for this exercise, let's try, right? Try to really kind of close it off right at the end. Okay, so you have this kind of nice, and I also want kind of the butt end of your body to go first. Okay? More like that. So you have this kind of big impact as opposed to just like the stick hitting, the whole stick hitting. Okay, so it's kind of like.
Also, we call them tsukus or
Zoos, like Z,
Yeah.
zoos, are like press hits.
into the drum, so we worked on that.
So in the afternoon, we had this really interesting kind of breakthrough timing-wise, because the group really wasn't playing together this one particular rhythm, but by the end we were very close to being together. So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Chris introduced this rhythm. It's actually a line from the Oketo part of the song that he's teaching us, or that On Ensemble is teaching us right now, so we're going to demonstrate the rhythm.
Yeah, that was right. So anyway, there's that rhythm. It was kind of tricky. So to help us break it down, first Chris went over the whole 1, 2, 3, 4 drill. We all know that. But what we started doing was counting out loud the 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, while accenting those beats and really picking out which beats those notes fell on. So it's kind of hard to do, but we're gonna try. Okay, ready? Ich, ni, so, re, 1E, 2E and 1E and 2E and 2E and stop! A 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a... Did I sing it wrong? So, re, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a...
So as we just demonstrated, we had tried playing the rhythm while counting the inner beats inside 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And what Chris had us do afterwards was omit the E and U's and just count 1, 2, 3, 4 in this, what they called, was it a quarter note pulse? So we're thinking about playing this rhythm in relation to this quarter note pulse, which we're going to demonstrate next.
Okay, so this is the same rhythm that we just played before, except now instead of counting all of the inner beats, I'm only counting the main quarter note beats, which is really difficult because you're saying one thing and playing another. But it really, once you finally figure it out, it does give you a pretty good sense of how the beat, the kind of the main pulse and the rhythm fit together. So I'm going to try to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So Shoji kind of described this whole timing activity with a pretty good analogy. He described all these different ways of thinking rhythmically about a line as a thread. So there's the thread of using that quarter note pulse. There's a thread of thinking 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and there's a thread of just knowing the kuchishoko, which is don't. But what he said was by reanalyzing the same rhythm with all these different threads, you kind of weave together this, I guess, tapestry, which makes the whole song a lot stronger. And you could tell just by going through this same pattern in all these different ways, by the end, the group of, 32 people, we were able to stay together a lot better. So we think just the idea of singing out loud in all these different ways could really help ST out timing-wise.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a breakthrough drill because we've tried a lot. There are a lot of different timing drills out there, but it's really one of those difficult things. It's really hard to get a whole bunch of people to play together the same thing. So this was really genius because by the end of this drill, basically we were all magically together on a rhythm that nobody has been able to get so far. So I'm really optimistic about this.
All like weave that sense of time and knowing exactly where all of those beats, were together. If it's just 13 different threads going straight, it's gonna sound like a mess. Ready, go! Right? Right? It's just, yeah. So this is the challenge. Like there's no such thing as a simple pattern. Yeah. Once you start like weaving those together, and then this is just like the most simple way, like a 4/4 16th note thing. Although, to tell you the truth, this will get you through most taiko music out there. Yeah. 16th note 4/4 will get you really, really far. But there's we're just scratching the surface. There's other divisions in those quarter notes. You can do 5s, you can do 3s, you can do 7s. You can do 2 verse 3, you can do 3 verse 4. You can get all these complicated things going on. And